students, how are you? I hope you are all doing well as always. Now today we are going to start with chapter number 7, that is helping each other. Now it's time to revise. Let's revise with me. This is a first aid box. Collect pictures of things which should be kept in this and stick them on the box. Here you can see a first aid box. Do you know what is a first aid box? Kids, find out and color it beautifully and stick the things which are kept in this box. Now let's begin. Nature has gifted us with many precious things, but at times nature causes great damage. An act of nature which causes a great damage to life and property is called natural calamity or a disaster. Some natural calamities are earthquake, floods, tsunami, cyclones and droughts. Now it's time to find out what is a seismometer. Who are seismologists? Let us learn about them in detail. The topic is floods. Floods are caused due to overflow of rivers into adjoining areas. This occurs due to heavy rain or building of a dam. Floods lead to destruction of houses, buildings, bridges and roads. Many people are killed or left homeless. Crops are destroyed. Many diseases are caused due to flood like malaria, cholera, dysentery, etc. Here you can see people are suffering from flood. Now, let's see the precautions to be taken in case of floods. Be aware of the warnings of floods in newspaper, radios and television. Keep adequate stock of food, drinking water, medicines and clothes. Prepare an emergency kit containing items like dry food, medicines, first aid materials, etc. When flood occurs, move to the roof of the house or other high areas. Now, earthquake. A sudden shaking of the earth is called an earthquake. It may last for a few seconds or even for 3 to 4 minutes. It occurs due to a sudden movement of plates below the surface of earth. An earthquake causes a lot of destruction. Huge buildings and houses collapse. Many people are killed and injured or left homeless. Electric and telephone poles get uprooted. Now, precautions to be taken in case of an earthquake. Get out of your building and move to an open area if possible. If you are indoors, do not stand near glass windows, doors, mirrors, heavy almirahs or electric appliances. Move under a study table or a bed. Do not use lifts or stairs. If you are in a vehicle, park it along the roadside and stay in it. Do not park it near trees or tall buildings or electrical poles. If you are outdoors, do not stand near tall buildings, electrical poles, trees or signboards as they can fall on you and hurt you. The fascinating fact is, an earthquake is measured on the Richter scale. So students, have you ever experienced an earthquake? Now we have our activity to do. Collect information about the most recent major earthquake that has occurred and collect newspaper reports about it. Stick them in your scrapbook. Now the next topic is tsunami. A tsunami is a huge wave or a series of waves caused by earthquakes or undersea volcanic eruptions. Tsunami causes devastation and loss of life in the areas falling in their path. Cars, boats, buildings, bridges, trees, power lines and telephone lines are completely washed away. Many people are killed. Here you can see a tsunami. What could be the precautions can we take? Precautions to be taken in case of tsunami are: move away from the coast quickly. Move to a higher ground. Listen to all government announcements carefully. Now the cyclone. A cyclone is a powerful spinning storm which rotates around an eye or a center. It is accompanied by strong winds and heavy rains. Now the fascinating fact, cyclones are also called hurricanes and typhoons. Here you can see a cyclone. Cyclones can destroy buildings and uproot trees, roads, bridges, vehicles, ships and electric poles are also destroyed. Precautions to be taken in case of a cyclone are: listen to all cyclone related reports and announcements made by the government. shift to a safer area and take shelter with your relatives or friends living in other areas. Keep an emergency kit, dried food, water, medicines, first aid material and waterproof bags ready. Help in dealing with calamities. Whenever a natural calamity occurs, there is a great loss of life and property. People lost their homes and belongings. Many people get injured or even die. Children get separated from their parents and siblings. Government organizations, non-government organizations, NGOs, and other charitable groups help people to overcome the disaster. Now, kids, find out how we can help the victims of natural calamities. Some of the ways in which these agencies help people are as follow. Here you can see food and water is provided to affected people. Injured persons are given first aid and treatment at hospitals. Temporary shelters are set up for people at many places. Fire brigades help to put out fires. Police and army people help in locating missing persons and uniting them with their family. People are given essential things like clothes, medicine, blankets and many other things. Some international agencies too help people who are affected by disaster. Some of these agencies are the United Nations Disaster Management Team, UNDMT, World Health Organization, WHO, Child Relief and You, CRY, United Nations Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, International Labour Organization, ILO. In India, Red Cross Society, Prime Minister Relief Fund and National Cadet Corps, NCC, come forward to help wherever a disaster strikes. How we can help when a disaster strikes? It is the duty of all the citizens to come forward to help. We too can help in many ways. We can collect money, clothes, eatables, non-perishable medicines, blankets and other things and send them to affected areas. We can create awareness among our friends and neighbors about the ways to tackle a natural disaster. We can stay calm and help our family members to move to safer places in case of calamity. Now, first aid. Accidents can occur anywhere and at any time. First aid is the emergency or immediate care we can provide when a person is ill or injured until full medicinal treatment is available. In case of an emergency, we should stay calm, act fast and try to arrange a doctor or an ambulance. In the meantime, we can give first aid to the victims. It can save person's life or stop his injuries from getting worse. Let us learn about first aid in different cases. Burns. In case of minor burn, wash the burned area with cool water for 10 to 15 minutes and apply an antiseptic cream like Bernol on it. If the burns are severe, rush the patient to the doctor. If the victim's clothes have caught fire, wrap him in a thick blanket or a bed sheet and make him roll on the ground to put out the fire. Do not remove any burnt clothing sticking to his body. Do not burst the blisters. Call an ambulance quickly to take him to a hospital. Now, cuts and wounds. In case of minor cuts and wounds, clean the area with the cotton ball dipped in antiseptic like Dettol or Savlon. Apply antiseptic cream, cover the wound with a cotton gauze and tie a bandage around it. In case of a serious cuts and wounds, the victim should be taken to a doctor as soon as possible. He may require stitches on the cut. Now, the fractures. A break or a crack in a person's bone is called a fracture. It can be caused due to a fall or an accident. In case of a fracture, use thin piece of cupboard or wood or even a plastic scale as a splint. This splint can be tied gently around the area of the fracture. Take the victim to a doctor as soon as possible without moving the fractured part. Now, nosebleed. In case of a nosebleed, make the person sit upright with his head tilted slightly in the backward direction. Pinch the soft portion of his nose for a few seconds. Apply an ice pack on the victim's nose and ask him to breathe through his mouth. Now, sprains. Sprains are injuries to muscles or joints. It can result in swelling and pain in that area. Wrap some ice cubes in a clean cloth and apply it to the sprained area. Apply an anti-inflammatory cream on it and tie a crepe bandage around the sprained area. Now we have an activity to do. Look at the things to be kept in a first aid kit and talk about their usage. Here you can see some things which are used in first aid. Discuss about them in your class. Thank you, kids. That's all for today's class. We will meet in next class. Bye-bye.